Real truth daily. This is Daily Truths with Dave Ahlman.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Daily Truths. Our scripture reading for today, Matthew chapter 17, beginning to read at verse 20. This is Jesus saying these words to his disciples. For truly I say to you, if you have faith like a grain of mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you. Now, who is Jesus saying this to? He was obviously saying this to his disciples, and the disciples had tremendous faith in the future that God could do amazing things through them. Jesus said in a different part of scripture, you guys are going to do greater things than I do. So what kind of things did they do as they appropriated the power of God by faith? Well, they cleansed lepers. They gave sight to the blind. They caused the deaf to hear. They caused the lame to walk. They caused the dead to rise from the dead. Indeed, they had great faith that appropriated the power of God. It wasn't the disciples doing that. It was God doing that through them. And they appropriated God's power by faith. That's what Jesus was saying in this context. You look at a mustard seed, it's a small seed, it becomes a huge plant. Simple faith that trusts in the power of God can do amazing things. Now, this passage is oftentimes misapplied, misappropriated, and misunderstood. Let me give you some examples. Some people say, well, if you have a strong enough faith, you're going to be healed of your cancer. If you have a strong enough faith, you're going to get the promotion. Or if you have a strong enough faith, hey, everything in your life is going to be good. And if things go wrong, people say, well, it's your fault because your faith isn't strong enough. So that makes our faith making God into a magic genie. And we simply say, God, do this, and he does it. Well, God doesn't work that way. Faith that appropriates the power of God simply says, I know that God is able, and I pray that he is willing. Let me say that again. I know that God is able, that he can do anything at any time. He's omnipotent. I know that God is able. I pray that he is willing. We know that as we trust in the promises and power of God, that God doesn't do everything we ask him to do. We understand that. Sometimes God says no to our prayers, no to our requests, because he knows it's not in our best interest. So as we go forward and we trust in the Lord, appropriating the power of God, we say, God, I know you're able, and I know you know what's best for me. And as I call upon you in this prayer, I leave the answer up to you, and help me to receive the answer by faith and trust you implicitly, even though you may not do everything I want you to do for me. I trust you, God. I have the faith of a mustard seed. I know that when I call upon you, you can do anything at any time. And that's what I believe Jesus meant in this passage. So go along in your life, trusting in the Lord, believing in his promises, appropriating his power, but know that sometimes God doesn't do what we want him to do when we want him to do it, because he always knows what's best for us. And you can trust that. So that is today's Daily Truth. Have a great day in Jesus Christ.
Thank you for tuning in to Daily Truths with Dave Ahlman. Pastor Dave Ahlman is the pastor of Mount Hope Church in Boulder, Colorado. If this ministry is blessing you, please consider supporting us by sharing this channel with a friend. You can also like, comment, subscribe, or leave a review. This helps us tremendously. Come back tomorrow for your next Daily Truth.